After listening to today's story, you are bound to gain something. Netizen Xiaoting shared this story. When she was just pregnant, her husband once had dinner with friends and didn't come home until after midnight. Xiaoting was very angry and made her husband sleep in the guest room instead of the bedroom. Half asleep, she heard the sound of footsteps, accompanied by the sound of high heels. At that time, she was very annoyed, thinking which family upstairs came back so late and was walking back and forth in high heels, making it impossible to sleep. So she turned over and forced herself to fall asleep. But the sound of high heels walking never stopped, and the frequency of the clacking never changed. Xiaoting was puzzled, wondering why someone would walk back and forth endlessly at night. She thought about getting up to find a mop stick to poke the ceiling to make it stop. As a result, as soon as Xiaoting sat up, the sound disappeared. But as soon as she was about to sleep, the sound would reappear. After 2 or 3 repetitions, Xiaoting was very angry and wanted to confront the neighbor tomorrow, so she closed her eyes and listened carefully, trying to determine whether it was the neighbor or the upstairs sound. As a result, upon careful listening, she was surprised to find that the sound came from directly above, that is, the ceiling of her own bedroom. In other words, the sound was like a person walking upside down on the ceiling of her bedroom. This step was neither fast nor slow, very rhythmic. Speaking of this, many friends may think they have heard wrong. In fact, once or twice it is very likely to be wrong, but after listening hard for a long time, it is generally not wrong. So Xiaoting was a bit scared. But after getting married for a long time, she cherished the child in her stomach and didn't want to have any impact. Xiaoting thought, rather than suffering like this, it would be better to see clearly. As a result, when the light came on, the sound suddenly stopped. Xiaoting sat on the bed, holding her stomach and called out to her husband a few times. As a result, her husband was too dead asleep, and the snoring came from the guest room to the bedroom. Xiaoting could only point to the ceiling in the bedroom and silently recite in her heart, "This child is not easy for me, I have never done anything bad. I also have the fire dragon king attached by Biaoge. If you pass by, it is you who should leave quickly, and then turn off the light and lie down." Originally thought it could end like this, but the footsteps were heard again in a daze. This time, it was obvious that he was not on the ceiling, but started to walk around Xiaoting's bed at the head of the bed. Because the sound is closer, it is also clearer and more obvious. If you say ordinary people really can't stand it. But when Xiaoting thought that the child in her stomach was not afraid at all, she was very angry. She got up, turned on the light, ran to the kitchen, and took the 2 largest kitchen knives for cutting vegetables at home. She rushed to the bedroom with one hand and chopped the air with both hands. She said loudly, "I tell you, if you don't let me live well, none of us want to live well. I have been married for so many years, it is not easy to have a child, don't think about bullying me at this time, if he has an accident, I will fight with you. There is a kind of you come out now, see if I chop you and it's over. I can't do it, but you and I can't do anything. I have to find an expert to clean you up. You make me uneasy. I dig your grave and treat your bones well. I let you be distracted. Don't let me live well. Don't think about anyone." After scolding, Xiaoting's heart became inexplicably calm, so she put down the knife and lay down to continue sleeping. Although angry, she still fell asleep. Then she had a dream. In this dream, an invisible person talked to her, "I was very good next to the street light in the corner. Who let your husband urinate without choosing a place? I can only follow him back. Forget it, you are too fierce, I'm leaving, tell him to urinate less outside next time. Then Xiaoting saw a pair of paper high heels with gold patterns on them, and then she could only see the feet and neck, and then it was a human-shaped shadow. Slowly, this shadow turned and left. Xiaoting woke up the next morning and ran to the guest room to remind her husband, asking him, "Did you urinate by the road yesterday?" The husband looked at Xiaoting with a blank face. "What's wrong?" Xiaoting explained, "So the night before yesterday, I drank too much beer and solved the problem under a street light in the corner." This little ding didn't think about it, and said it could really match the stream. This one heard a pimple in the daytime. Well, see you in the next story.